morning, honorable ministers, distinguished guests, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen. I will make a presentation of investment on ICTs in Mozambique. I will not talk much about numbers, but about the initiatives that are run by the Ministry of Science and Technology. Not all, because there are many, but some that I think that are important to share in this session. Well, these are some numbers or some figures from Mozambique. I know that many of you know Mozambique maybe well than I know, but the reason why I bring these figures here is a question that I have and I would like to share with you. Is that Mozambique has a population of around 23 million inhabitants, and it's a beautiful country, as you can see from the description. The long surface, closer to the sea. It has a lot of natural resources, coal, titanium, the climate is good, many rivers, hundreds and something rivers, where we can build dams, so you know, Kawarabasa is there, so on and so forth. This is the beautiful side of the country. But on the other side, you have these ugly numbers, as I used to say. The growth is very small. This is our statistics of 2010, but last year I think it was 7.5. And even though it was considered better, was a better growth compared to other countries in Africa. And the per capita PIB also is very small. Poverty rate 52%, illiteracy 54%. If we go to research and the development system, we can see that the number of higher education institutions is 38, the number of students around 82,000, research institutions 34, number of research is very, very few. And the expenditure in research and development also is very few. If you is very small. If you see it's around 0.2% of our GDP. Our big challenge is to change this situation, and we believe that with research and development goes together. The countries that have a higher engagement in research also are to some extent developed. And we believe that ICT is also a tool that can help us to develop the country. I'm not forgetting health, education, and other areas, but because this conference is about ICT, I will concentrate on ICT initiatives. Well, these are some statistics of 2008 about what has been spent in research, especially in the engineering and technology. And technology, if we break down this number, we will find that it is a very small amount that goes to research and technology. Well, we have developed our strategy for science, technology, and innovation that aims to achieve these goals. And I have highlighted here the goals related to ICT and human resource. As stated here, to promote the use of ICTs for good governance and deliver of service, including dissemination of knowledge that supports poverty alleviation and economic development. Promote development of human resources at all stages, at all levels of science, technology, and innovation. The government have been investing in the legal framework, research and development, human resources, information systems, infrastructures in terms of institutions, and ICTs. All these areas related to ICTs. These are some of the policies or documents that we have developed to guide us. There is the ICT policy that was developed in 2000. I think many of the ministers here remember that Mozambique, I think, was one of the first countries in Southern Africa to develop its ICT policy. But if you see, we are to some extent behind the other countries that came after us. Then we developed the ICT implementation strategy in 2002. And I want to stress one of the aims here in this implementation strategy that says that we want to transform Mozambique in a producer of a technology and not only a consumer. These are the big challenges. And we developed the e-government strategy, strategy also that promotes small and medium enterprise, the science and technology innovation strategy, and there are many other documents that we have been developing all these years. For instance, I have here down the government interoperability framework, because we have this e-government strategy, and this interoperability framework sets up what are the standards to make these systems to communicate together. We have a plan to develop the science parks, at least 3 science parks, one in the south, one in the center, and another in the north of the country. We want to create a biotechnology center, and we are working on the e-transaction. I had here discussion about the cyber law. We call it e-transaction, but it's the same, cybernetic law. We were discussing it the last 2 years. I hope that this year it's going to the parliament to be approved. So these are some examples in terms of the legal framework. In terms of human resources, we have a lot of many initiatives. Just to say some figures, in 2011, we have trained around 6,000 Mozambicans, including a group that includes teachers from secondary schools in use of ICTs, public servants, community members in use of computers and the internet. And we have attributed 80 scholarships for masters and PhDs. And we have a program called Discover the Scientists of Tomorrow. One of the things that happens also in Mozambique is that there is more concentration on social sciences. So we want to change a bit the trend for the kids when they grow up to focus also on natural sciences, to become engineers maybe and IT people. We are involved in this Pan-African e-network project. There are some countries here also involved in this. This year we enrolled around 40 students for master's course in business and administration and in IT. We have a program also called the Kids Club to try to also bring the kids in the sciences, in engineering, and joining what they are learning at school and some practices. And we also this year started a program with Italian government, and where we developed what we call a summer school. In this summer school, what we did is to select students from different universities and put them in one room for a month to learn, not to learn, but to improve their skills in the programming and developing big systems and mobile-based systems. Well, were some activities in terms of development of human resources that were done by the Ministry of Science and Technology, but there are others that are done also by other government and private institutions. To say that our initiatives, we are not taking out, we are not financing it alone. We work with other partners, other governments. For instance, we have a project with the Finnish government that we call Science, Technology, Innovation between Finland and Mozambique. that also help us in different programs for science and technology, which is around $22 million. We have a program with the World Bank to help us on the implementation of e-government initiatives. And these are some of our partners in the implementation of our initiatives. Well, as I said, also we are implementing e-government in the country, and our vision of e-government is stated as in this box, the yellow box. Mozambique e-government will deliver to every Mozambican in every area of governance, every sector of the economy, and at every level of society, the right to access, process, and apply all the information necessary for each to achieve their fullest potential as a knowledgeable individual and a responsible citizen and a global competitor. To say that it's a challenge to implement e-government, but we have started, and the first project that we have started with in 2005, if I'm not wrong, is this first one called the ICTE, which is a financial application for managing the government budget. In few words, to say to some extent, the government did not have a control of how the budget is being used. For instance, the payment of salaries was a big headache within the country, but now it's to some extent controlled. If I go back 10 years ago, I have a mother that is a primary teacher, and she was working in administration. She had to run to the bank to take the money to pay the salaries of other teachers. And then sometimes she would come, I was stolen, all this kind of thing. But now the system is electronic system. It's linked to all the banks. And if you know, the state is the public servants how can I say? The government employs the majority of the population in the public sector, saying that teachers, medical doctors, they are all paid in this system. And it allows also to organize the budget of the government, how it's being used, for what, and all this kind of thing. And another challenge is the implementation of INWIC means unique identification number. So it's an identification system that we have started a year ago. It is only in one site in a pilot. So we would like to have at the hand to have a system that will manage to register when people are born, all their acts during their life, when someone is born, when someone marries, until he passes away. And then there is a single window system also, and there are other identification systems that have started to produce passports, ID cards, and a lot of health information systems that also we are developing. In terms of infrastructure, also we have our fiber backbone. We have the country's backbone, which is already installed. And the big challenge is that you have the fiber, for instance, a few kilometers, but it's not being used. This is the challenge, to make it used by the population. But the fiber is already there. And the telecommunication companies, we have now 3 build research institutions and facilities to ease the access of ICTs. We have around 34 multimedia centers that we have installed in the rural areas to give access to people who are in the rural areas to use internet, computers. And the CMC is the new concept that joins together telecenters and community radios. And the big challenge here is the content for the CMCs. The infrastructure is there, but to produce content has been a big headache. And we have also Morenet. I had yesterday, many African countries here also have this research and education network that we have already connected 12 institutions. And we have this government network which aims to link together all the public institutions in the same physical network, and also to host e-government applications, and to some extent to reduce the costs that we are paying for communications. As an example, for instance, we as public servants, we used to have emails like Yahoo, Gmail, so on and so forth, and it costs a lot for the government. So with this project, we have our own addresses to be linked within the government. And the government is now in 50 districts. In terms of, we are fighting also to have ICT companies in Mozambique, and we have a project also to develop government data centers where we can host our applications and provide all other services. And the first one, we are going to start to build it in June this year. It's a partnership with the government of China. Well, these are some indicators on ICTs, and telecommunication companies. We have 3 ISP providers, 20 providers of access to internet, 9 companies to disseminate information, 141. Well. Here is also our dream that is becoming true. We have a plan or a project to develop science parks in Mozambique, and this is the first science park that's going to be developed in Maputo, and we think to have one in the center, another one in the north of the country, as I said. The total area is 950 hectares, and this master plan that you can see here is of 360 hectares, and the first building, I don't know how to. The first building will finish in March and start operating by June this year, and this is our project of the data center. And here we will have the industry, and there are a lot of facilities, and also here there are logistics and commerce area, and this area also will be used for building houses. And this is the green area with hotels and so on. We're trying to build a real science park with a lot of infrastructures there. As I told you in the beginning, that we would like, our dream is to become a producer of technology, not a consumer. Well, I'm using this opportunity, if you allow me, to call the investors to come to Mozambique. There is a space, as I told you, we have started creating that, and the environment is created. The Maluana Science Park is 60 kilometers from the Maputo center, and is closer to the National Road number 1. That links the countries from the south to the north, and we are also making a program to link the national park with South Africa. So through this railway. So it has a it has a beautiful, how can I say? Sorry. It has a beautiful location. If you can see here, here we have the rivers and then the sea. Yeah, this is the line of Limpopo. This is the building that. This is the building that I was telling you that we are developing. It has 4 floors and is divided for the science research and learning. And we want to put the incubators and offices will be there, and we're including the shops, banks, and other services to support people that are there. The building is almost done. In March it will be finished and start operating. So as I told you, these are some of focus areas in terms of technology and business incubation. We would like to have companies there for assembling technology, services, and yeah, I'm running out of time, so I'll try to finish. So this is what we expect there, because there will be education in ICT training, short courses and other courses. We are planning also, I forgot to say, to install a University of Science and Technology. So these are what we expect to produce. And then we want to create a critical mass of scientists of the country. As I told in the beginning, we need researchers to develop the country. And we believe with that we will impact on industrial development to increase our HDI, and again to be a product, to produce and not to export, and to take Mozambique as a competitor. So thank you very much for listening.